and I'm asking that you not record me or record the meeting. All right. I had two agenda items I wanted to talk about, and I guess we'll open the floor to whatever things you wanted to talk about within this next 60 minutes, okay?
Okay.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about is I took them to church 2 weeks ago. It was April the 20th. April the 25th. We got to the church around maybe 10 minutes to 11. Church service didn't start until probably around quarter to 12, I believe. He seemed to be relaxed in the church. He had to go to the bathroom a couple times during the church service. And after the church service,
how did he let you know?
I was paying attention to his body language, and I asked him on 2 occasions. I said, "Are you okay?" And he pushed the yes button. Then I also asked him. I said, "You need to go to the bathroom," because I saw him tensing up a little bit. And he pushed the yes button again, and so he went. There's actually a bathroom right in the back of the sanctuary or
Okay.
the church area.
Really quick question: Did he have to wear a pamper with you?
Did he have what?
Did he have to wear a pamper with you?
A pamper with me?
Did he have to wear a pamper?
Oh, I am not sure if he had one on, but I did have I guess it's called a tux, what you put in the car in case he, but I never asked him if he had a pamper on.
Okay.
Okay. Is there something you'd like for me to ask him?
No, he shouldn't be wearing Pampers. He's 23. He didn't wear Pampers before, so why is he wearing Pampers now? He should be wearing Pampers.
I don't think age determines wearing Pampers. We have
my God. Mr. Moses, if my son was wearing Pampers when he was 17, 18, 19, if he was wearing Pampers before, then you know what? I wouldn't even be saying it. He was not wearing Pampers. Okay?
Okay, well, I don't know if he was wearing a pamper.
I'm telling you he wasn't. That's why I'm asking. He was not wearing Pampers.
Okay, all right. Well then. Okay. So like I said, she stayed at the church until it was over. It ended about maybe 10 minutes after 1 or whatever, and we drove back. He was very accommodating in the car. I asked him on several occasions, as we were walking, I said, "Are you okay?" Pushed the yes button. I asked him before we got into the car, would you like to go to the bathroom? He pushed the no button. I asked him if he'd like to stop and get something on the way back, and he pushed the no button. And then we got back, and I dropped him off. So he had a pretty good visit. My plan going forward is to, I'm picking him up again this Sunday. I'll probably pick him up between 10 and 10:30 because the gentleman who came and set the room up and everything said that usually the service doesn't get started until like around 11:30 or something like that. I'll pick him up again this Sunday between 10 and 10:30.
Okay, I have a question. So why are you taking him and not his one-to-one? Is that going to be like a permanent thing? Like, why aren't they, because that's what this whole thing is supposed to be, that, like they have a schedule and things that he wants to do, that, there's funding allotted so that he can do and go places. I thought that's what the one-to-one is for.
I think the one-to-one is doing stuff with him on other situations. But because right now I'm supervising Kenneth around this case, I just like to get to know a little bit more about him. So I figured that's a nice opportunity for him and I to have what appears to be a comfortable outing, and he can get to know me and feel comfortable with me so that when I come to visit him, he won't be frightened or anything or be concerned or confused. He'll see me in a more positive light.
Okay, so you're going to be the person taking him to church. Well, he missed church this week, so what's the backup plan when you don't make it?
Okay, so right now, right now I'm going to be taking him. I'm not going to be taking him every Sunday. I'll be taking him every other Sunday.
So on the Sundays that you're not taking him, is his one-to-one going to take him?
Right now, I'm planning to take him to church every other Sunday, and I said that to Mr. Egby over at the place where he's living at. So I'll pick him up
I'm confused. Okay, you're going to take him every other Sunday. That's fine. If church is available every Sunday, and if there's a Sunday that you're not there because you're only doing every other Sunday, what happens on the alternate Sundays? Or are you giving Mr. Egby, are you saying to Mr. Egby that Reggie is only permitted to go when you go?
No, right now I'm planning to take him to church, and I don't have any reason to believe that I won't be able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But if something comes up and I'm not able to take him, I will explore other options. But for right now, I'm going to be taking him every other Sunday.
Okay, so I'll ask again. On the other Sundays, okay, because I understand that you're going to take him on the Sundays that you're going to take him. On those alternate Sundays, who is...
Nobody's going to be taking him.
Okay, so is he not permitted to go? That's what I asked. Is he not permitted to go?
Nope. Right now, I'm taking him because...
Oh, my God.
It's accommodating to my schedule. My staff doesn't work on the weekends at all, and I'm making this personal commitment to allowing him to engage in his religious activities. So I'm going to be taking him every other Sunday.
Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Does Mr. Kenneth, do you understand what I'm asking? Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. If on the other Sundays, I get that you're going to do it, and I appreciate your commitment. That's very commendable of you. On the Sundays that you're not taking him, is there no permission for him to go? Or, that's one question. Second question, if he is permitted to go on the Sundays that you don't take him, will his one-to-one take him? Or do I have to get transportation for him to go to church? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, and what I'm saying to you is right now, I'm making a commitment, taking him to church every other Sunday. I will explore with Mr. Egby are there other options, but I haven't done that right now because right now I'm trying to accommodate him with my own personal schedule.
Okay, so he's not. So is he permitted to go on the other Sundays that you're not there? That's just a simple question. Is it yes or no? Can he go to church the Sundays that you're not there?
I have to explore that with Mr. Egby. I don't know the answer to that.
Huh?
I'll explore that with him. You're asking me a question I don't have the answer for. I'll explore that with him.
Wow. Okay.
You're asking a question. I'm answering. I will sit down with Mr. Egby and I will explore. Is that an option?
Is what an option? What are you asking, Mr. Egby? Can my son go to church on the days that you don't go? Is that what you're going to ask him? That doesn't even make sense. Like, this is like, Mr. Moses, like, I don't think, maybe you just don't understand what I'm saying, and it's okay, but I don't think you understand at all. Like, if church is every Sunday, you go the first Sunday, which is Communion Sunday, second Sunday is, I forgot what that is, third Sunday is like another preacher or whatever, and then the fifth Sunday, if there's 5 Sundays in a month, that's Youth Sunday. So, if he goes with you first, third, and fifth, or second and fourth, okay, those other Sundays, Mr. Egby shouldn't be the one giving him permission to go. It's either Mr. Egby's people are going to drive him like he's supposed to, the one-to-one, or, you know what, Miss Spann, you can take him to church on the days that I don't go. It's just that simple. Mr. Egby shouldn't be calling shots on when my son can go to church. That doesn't even make sense.
Okay, so right now, Miss Spann, I'm going to take him to church every other Sunday. That's the commitment I've made to making this happen. I understand you want him to go to church every Sunday. And like I said, I will explore with Mr. Egby if he has staff that can do that.
Okay, that's what it should have been. So on the Sundays that you're not available, I'll take him. That's all we had to do. That's all we had to do. So until you can get it straight with Mr. Egby, if my son's 1-to-1, who's supposed to be with him at all times, but it's cool. Hey, you guys have the money. You do what you want with it. So the 1-to-1, he won't be there. So on the Sundays you can't, I'll do it. That's all I was asking you. Okay, what's the next thing?
Okay, so the next thing is that in the email that you sent to my director, you stated that your son was being molested.
Who is your director?
Gregory Branch, Dr. Gregory Branch.
Let me pull up that email. Give me 1 second. Because I don't have his, I know I don't have his direct email address. Because that was not given to me, so.
Okay. Well, I may have gotten it from him. But in an email you sent, you said that your son was being molested. And I wanted to know if I could get the name of the person who's molesting him and when you became aware of it and what happened.
The person who I was under the impression that did something to my son, his name is Godfrey. He disappeared once I found out about it.
Is that his first name or last name?
All I know is Godfrey.
And how did he have interactions with your son?
He was my son's 1-to-1.
And do you know when that happened, Ms. Fan?
All I know is the story that I told you and told Mr. Kenneth, that my son was getting these hugs by the bedside, and the next time I saw my son was tucking his penis. So I don't know. I never saw any doctor's reports or anything. These people were made aware that something was going on. My son's peeing in the bed, all these things. I don't know anything. So all I did was bring it to their attention that, hey, what's up with these hugs next to the bed? Why is my son peeing in the bed? Why was my son tucking his penis back behind his legs? And no one ever told me anything.
And so because of that, you said that Mr. Godfrey was molesting him? Just asking, because I don't know, because I want to pursue this a little further.
Thank God you are. I don't know what Mr. Godfrey was doing, but I tell you one thing, when I brought it to their attention, Mr. Godfrey disappeared.
And make sure I'm clear on it. You said that your son was tucking his penis between his legs, and that and what was the other statement you made? And he was wetting the bed. My son
was wetting the bed, okay? He wasn't wetting the bed before. He was wetting the bed, and he would take his penis and tuck it back between his legs as to like hide it or whatever. He had never done those things ever. He was just a normal boy. He had autism or whatever they diagnosed him with, and he was nonverbal. He didn't ever do these things.
Okay, and you reported this to
I told everybody. The service coordinator, Danielle, I forgot her last name. I can look it up through my emails. Danielle, whatever her name was, she was sitting right there. The owner, the quality control person from Inspired Options was sitting there. The aide, Tiberius, was sitting there. That's the one who told the story.
Okay. And you said the name was Godfrey, though. Okay.
The man's name was Godfrey, and he disappeared. They were telling the story as if, oh, Godfrey, Reggie listens to Godfrey, Reggie's so good with Godfrey. And as the man begins to tell the story, oh, I was there, and I told him to go to bed, and blah, blah, blah. And he got to the part where, when I told him to go to bed, Reggie didn't listen. And then he said he told him a few times, Reggie didn't listen. He went to the person, Godfrey, the 1-to-1, and said, hey, he's not going to bed. What's up? He said, oh, he must need one of his hugs. That was a concern to me, because if there was something that he needed, like a hug or any type of physical touch for him to go to bed, then that should have been documented. It should have been a part of his personal centered plan. So when I made note of that, I don't want anybody hugging my son. He's a man. Treat him like a man. Are you two hugging each other? Oh, no, 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 no. Well, then why are you hugging on my son? My son can only learn and do what you guys are training him to do. Why is he needing these hugs to go to bed? Nobody could answer. Then that was on a Monday. By Wednesday, oh, Mr. Godfrey is no longer working with the company. So that's a problem, because next thing, Reggie's peeing in bed. Then when Reggie got to me, a few months later, Reggie is literally tucking his penis. So the concern is that these people, who knows what goes on? I'm not going to strip search my son and see his body and all that kind of stuff. It should be people who communicate and say, if you see something, you say something. It's just that simple. If there's a new behavior, if there's something different, then you say something. You document. That's how you take care of people that can't take care of themselves. You tell what's going on with them. It's transparency. And then there's no surprises. Hello?
I'm listening to you. I wasn't going to cut you off or be disrespectful. I'm listening to you. I'm writing down what you're saying. And Miss Fan, and how long ago was this?
He was with what? Inspired Options, maybe, I think, 2 years ago?
You said about a year ago?
I said 2.
Oh, 2 years ago. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there was never any documentation, as far as I know of, from any doctors that examined my son, saw it. I don't know anything. All I saw was the behaviors, and that the man disappeared. And whenever I brought it up, oh, can we just move forward? How can you move forward when here it is, there's a person here that can't tell you what happened to him. The man disappeared, and now he has all these strange behaviors. He's scared of these people, and it's just not right, and nobody's talking about it or dealing with it.
And since then, have you had any indication or any other reasons to believe that he's being molested?
Well, he was kept from me for a year, so I have no idea, And when I saw him on the Zoom calls, I sent those pictures that I saw him on the Zoom calls looking all like lifeless and scratches on his face. I don't know what took place. I sent them to Tamika with Collins. Oh, she said she went and my son was thriving. So I don't know. When I was there the other day, didn't even realize it. There's holes behind my head because I took a picture with my son. Here it is. Stat took the picture because I couldn't take a picture. I didn't want to take a selfie. I wanted to see how much taller he was than me. Well, there's holes behind our heads. I asked, wait a minute, what is a hole? What is this? Oh, Reggie did that. Why is my son banging the walls? What took place, Mr. Mosby? Who knows?
And is this a new behavior? Has she ever done that before?
Mr. Moses, if my son hit something, there's a reason for it. So I just want to know what the incident report is and what's going on.
But has he ever, when he was living with you, did he ever do that before?
I didn't have those issues. We had issues when the African guys were coming to the house, and that's when my son lost it. And that's when I kept asking them, why can't you find staff that he is more comfortable with? That's when I had issues with that kind of stuff. When there was people that he didn't like or whatever it was. I don't know I don't know what happened with these African men, whereas though whenever even the door rung, he would wet himself. Okay? So I didn't know what to do, what to think. I don't know what happened between these people and my son.
Okay, but since the last 2 years, you haven't had any other, you said with Mr. Godfrey 2 years ago. Has there been anything else that you have observed or concerns about in relationship to him being molested?
Mr. Moses, that was enough for me. Okay? That was enough for me. The fact that when the African staff started coming to the house after he left Inspired Options, where Godfrey was, whenever he heard the bell, he peed on himself. Okay? That's when I saw the behavior of him tucking his penis. That's when he became aggressive, when the African men started coming to the house. So I don't know what else you need me to see for me to tell you, those are the things that I noticed, and I don't know what happened because my son can't tell me what happened. All I can see is the behaviors, and I can see the actions of DDA and what they did. I literally hired American people and didn't have these issues, but I didn't have the money to keep that up, okay? I didn't have the money to keep that going.
Those were the two agenda items I had. One is about the church, and one is about the email where you said that he was being molested. So I will investigate that further.
Okay, with Mr. Branch, I also let them know about the religious beliefs and the fact that my son is nonverbal and about this vaccination. That's not going to be addressed at all?
Well, I'm not going to address that because you sent that to my executive director, and this may become a court issue. So for me, I'm not.
I hope so. It should be.
Yep. So
you said it may become a court issue, or why do you say it may become a court issue? Because that's a weird response.
Well, I was under the impression you were pursuing legal counsel because you believe or feel that we violated his religious beliefs in doing that, and so you were pursuing an attorney. So on my end, I'm not at liberty to discuss that issue.
So on your end, you're not able to discuss the issue. So if Mr. Branch, he gave you this email for you to address with me the concerns about what happened to my son. However, he's not going to deal with the vaccination of the forced vaccination of my son. Is that what you're saying? I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Okay, and what I'm saying to you so that you're clear, because you're now pursuing legal counsel around discussing this issue. I'm not going to be discussing it with you anymore.
So who is going to be discussing it? Because it's important. If a lawyer hasn't contacted you or your agency about my son and the vaccination, I have the right to inquire about it. Until a lawyer has been retained and contacts you or your agency about this, then you have the obligation to discuss it with me. That's a part of the court order. I can ask you questions about my son's health. That's a part of it. Until an attorney lets you know that they are representing me or represent.
Since you decided to make this a legal court matter,
oh my God,
I'm not going to discuss it with you. Your son has had both of his shots for COVID, and since you're choosing to go to round.
Well, you know what? So thank you for telling me. That's what you should have said from the very beginning. So you have violated and went against what I sent you guys. You did what you wanted. You went on ahead and vaccinated my son. You don't know what has happened to him. You don't know what any reactions. No wonder he's probably sleeping to the middle of it. Okay, now it makes sense. So are you going to give me the dates of the days that he got the second shot? When did he get the second shot?